This is TradingView's new AI chart Copilot, and 99% of beginners are using it completely wrong. But if you want to start day trading the right way, you need to turn a normal chart into this: a mechanical trading assistant that maps your levels, flags decision points, and builds your own indicators. A real workflow you can use every day. First, you need to set it up correctly. Start with the install. Open your browser and go to the Chrome Web Store and search for this. Then just click Add to Chrome or Add Extension. Now add TradingView and open any chart. Now look at the top right corner of your browser and find the extensions icon. Find the AI chart Copilot and click the pin icon beside it if you want it to stay visible. When you click the icon, a side panel opens beside your chart. Then you simply need to sign in. At this point, your chart should be on the left and the panel should be on the right. Keep both visible. At the top of the panel, you may see usage limits. That is normal. Usage can be limited, so you don't want to waste prompts on random questions. You will also see templates like market overview, technical analysis, or watch list scan. Those are useful, but we will build a better prompt later. Okay, so the AI Copilot is installed and ready to help you. But now comes the mistake that makes most people think AI is useless for trading. They ask something like, is this going up? Or should I sell this? And then the AI gives a non-answer. Here's the reality. AI is genuinely terrible at predicting the next candle. It always will be. But it is extremely good at helping you build a structured, conditional trading plan. And that difference is everything. What you want instead is something like, analyze this chart. Give me the current trend, the key levels, the conditions for a long and short setups. What would invalidate both, and when I should simply do nothing? That's a completely different question, and you'll get a completely different answer. The best version of that prompt goes one step further. Use the higher time frame for directional bias and the lower time frame for entry timing. Do not predict. Give me conditional setups only. That last part matters. Conditional setups only. Because we don't want Copilot saying this will go up. We want it saying, if price holds above this level, then a long setup may form. If price stays in the middle, there is no trade. So you will use AI to force you to define your conditions before you're already in a trade. That's the real value. Once your prompt is fixed, the next step is using Copilot in the right order. Here's a mistake I see constantly. You open your chart, jump straight onto the 5-minute, you see what looks like a perfect setup, you pull the trigger, and then watch price immediately reverse into a major level. You would have seen it if you just zoomed out. The lower time frame gave you a beautiful entry signal. The higher time frame would have told you it was pushing straight into a wall. So you start higher. Open the 1 hour or the 4-hour chart if you want a bigger view. Then ask Copilot to analyze this higher time frame chart. Ask it to mark the trend direction, major levels, important swing highs and lows, even liquidity areas, and the current bullish or bearish bias. Tell it to explain every level in simple language. Look, now you have a starting map. Support zones, where price may bounce. Resistance levels, where price may struggle. Liquidity zones, areas where many traders may have stops or orders. Bias, the side that currently has the better chance based on the chart. The language in your prompt matters here too. Train yourself and train Copilot to use conditional language. If price holds above this level, the bias is bullish. If price is trading in the middle of the range, skip the session. Before you look for an entry, use the higher time frame to decide where trading makes sense. But bias alone is not a trade. Now you need the lower time frame plan. If you use the 1 hour chart for the bigger view, You might use the 5-minute or 15-minute chart for the entry plan, but do not let the lower time frame create a brand new opinion. This is important. The lower time frame should refine the higher time frame idea. It should not fight it. Ask the AI Copilot. Based on the higher time frame bullish idea, create a lower time frame day trading plan. Give me the entry trigger, invalidation, no trade condition, and alert levels. Now, the output you are looking for has to contain 5 specific things: a long setup with a clear trigger, a short setup with a clear trigger, the exact entry point, the invalidation level, meaning where you know you're wrong and you get out, and a no trade condition for when the setup simply doesn't qualify. Copilot may say price needs to pull back into support, reject it, and break a small high. Good. Now you have a condition. If it gives you anything vague, push back. Ask it to be more specific. What price level would confirm the long? What candle pattern are we waiting for? Keep refining until the plan is something you could hand to someone else and they'd know exactly what to do. Okay, so now you have a trading plan, but only if the chart reminds you before the trade is already gone. That is where alerts come in. Most traders have 2 bad habits. They either stare at charts for hours or they miss the move completely. A proper trading plan should create alerts at the decision points. So once you have your plan from Copilot, ask it to go through every level that changes your trade decision and create an alert for it. Every one of those should have an alert attached to it, with a label that tells you exactly what it means. Something like price reached long decision zone or price broke key resistance. When that notification comes through, you already know what it means and what you do next. This is huge because these alerts keep you away from the chart until price actually does something important. Now, the next step is more powerful. You can use Copilot to build a visual tool for your idea. This is where things get interesting, because we're going to flip from using AI to read the chart into using it to actually build a tool for the chart. Do not worry if you cannot code. That is the point of using Copilot here. We will build something simple. First, you want a trend filter. For that, I'll use the 20 and 50 exponential moving averages. These are 2 simple lines that follow price. When the 20 is above the 50, the short-term trend is stronger than the longer-term one. That means you only want the tool to mark bullish pullbacks. When it is below the 50 line, you only want AI to mark bearish pullbacks. Now add the entry trigger. For a long signal, price must touch this area between the 2 averages. Then it must form a bullish engulfing candle. A bullish engulfing candle means the green candle body covers the previous red candle body. For a short signal, price must touch the same area, but the 20 is below the 50. Then price must form a bearish engulfing candle. The red body covers the previous green body. Now ask the AI Copilot to build the indicator for you using this prompt. Watch what happens. It writes the Pine script for you and it compiles the code. If the script gives an error, Copilot reads the error, edits the code, and compiles again. You are not touching the Pine editor. This is important for beginners because coding errors are where most people quit. But here, the coding agent keeps working through the error until the script is clean. Once the code is ready, the indicator appears directly on your TradingView chart. You should see the 20 and 50 lines, the shaded area between them, and the buy or sell labels when the full condition appears. Now your job is simple. You check if the labels make sense. If labels appear in random places, or you want to improve the indicator, you simply tell AI to make the rules stricter. Now the indicator is no longer just an idea in your head. It is on the chart, following fixed rules. But we're not stopping here. The next move is testing. Ask AI Copilot to convert your indicator into a TradingView strategy. For this one, I want to enter on candle close. For longs, to place the stop below the signal candle. At 1 hour, to take 50% profit and move the stop to break even. After that, to trail the stop under the most recent red candle. Now Copilot builds the strategy version and adds it to the chart. The result will not be perfect. Some signals will appear too late. Many pullbacks will fail. That is useful, because now you are not guessing if the idea works. You can see where it works, where it fails, and what part of the rule needs to be changed. After one bad test, do not add 5 random filters. Ask Copilot one focused question. Ask him to show you where the strategy fails most often, and to suggest one rule that could reduce bad signals without changing the whole idea. That is how you use the coding agent properly. You give it the idea, it writes the code, and it fixes the errors. It adds the tool to the chart. Then you judge the signals like a trader. What used to feel like a complicated coding task now becomes a simple build, test, and improve loop. So let's compress everything into a daily workflow you can use tomorrow. The goal is not to ask the agent random questions every morning. The goal is to repeat the same clean process. So you start the session on the higher time frame and let AI help you mark the main direction and the important areas. After that, you move down to the lower time frame only to shape the entry around those areas. When price gets close to a decision level, your alert brings you back to the chart. The indicator is only useful after that, because the signal must match the plan, not replace it. That is how you use AI better than most day traders. You are using it to remove random decisions from your trading. Save your best prompt as a custom template and use the same template every session, instead of starting from a blank chart and asking random questions. I've put a few ready-made prompts in the description, so you don't have to start from a blank chat. And if you want to see how I build other indicators and strategies with AI, go watch the next video. And if you're ready to fit this into a full A to Z trading system, that's what our academy is for.